Okay, so today we're diving into the wild world of tinnitus.
Oh,
You
yeah?
know, that ringing, buzzing, sometimes hissing
Yeah.
that only you can hear.
Right.
We're going to take a deep dive into the work of Peter Studeník.
Okay.
He's a tinnitus expert,
Hmm.
self-proclaimed expert, but
Love it.
he
Okay.
claims to have cured his own tinnitus
Wow.
after almost 4 years of suffering from it.
Oh, wow.
Um, and we're looking at his website and excerpts from his book, How to Get Complete Tinnitus Relief.
So he's cured and now he wants to help others get cured.
Exactly. Yeah, he's
Like
like
expert?
sharing his secrets.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, and so many people suffer from tinnitus.
I know, it's a really common problem.
Yeah,
It can be really debilitating for some people.
and he claims that he can, help people cure this.
So what's his approach?
Well, one of the most interesting things is
Yeah.
he has this idea that you should measure your tinnitus volume every morning.
Measure your tinnitus volume?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
I have, actually.
Right.
Yeah, it's this idea that
Yeah.
you rate it like on a scale every morning. How loud is it?
Right.
It's not like you can actually measure it with a decibel meter,
Right.
but it's more about like your perception of it. How loud does it seem to you?
Right, and how it changes.
Yeah, exactly. And he thinks that that can really help you become more aware of it.
Okay.
Like, oh, today it seems a little bit louder, or maybe it's a little bit quieter. Why is that?
Interesting. So it's more about like noticing the patterns and triggers.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, is it worse after I drink coffee, or is it worse when I haven't slept well?
Oh, interesting.
Things like that.
So you can kind of start to identify those things.
Exactly. And then maybe avoid them or change your habits.
Okay, so it's like a way to sort of start taking control
Yeah,
over
that-
it instead of just feeling like,
Yeah, like you're just at the mercy of it.
yeah, helpless.
Exactly. And he also says that it can be really motivating because he claims that people start to see a difference
Okay.
in just a few weeks. Like they might notice that their perceived volume is going down.
Oh, wow. So you start to see results.
Yeah, exactly. And that can be really encouraging, especially if you've been dealing with this for a long time.
Right, because it can feel hopeless
Yeah,
if you've been trying different things and nothing's working.
absolutely.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting approach.
Okay, so that's one of his 6 steps to tinnitus relief.
6 steps.
But he has 5 others.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
So there's sound therapy,
Okay.
diet changes stress reduction, and something called sound enrichment.
Sound enrichment. What is that?
I know it's a little bit different.
All right, well, let's start with sound therapy.
Okay.
So that's basically using external sounds to kind of help manage your tinnitus.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be white noise, nature sounds, or there are even like specially designed soundscapes
Oh, wow.
that you can listen to. And the idea is that it gives your auditory system something else to focus on.
Okay.
So it's not just that ringing in silence. It's like there's other stuff going on.
Right, it's like masking it a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, it kind of helps to reduce the contrast between the tinnitus and the silence.
Interesting.
And it can make it less noticeable or less bothersome.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So then what's sound enrichment?
So this is kind of a unique part of his approach.
Okay.
He basically says that in our modern world, we live in these really quiet environments.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially at night, like we try to make everything super quiet.
Yeah.
And he thinks that actually makes tinnitus more noticeable because there's nothing else to kind of compete with it.
It stands out more.
Exactly. So sound enrichment is about adding more pleasant sounds to your environment.
Like what?
Like playing music in the background, having a small water fountain in your home,
Oh,
things like that, just to kind of create a richer soundscape.
Okay.
So it's not just this stark silence.
Well, the tinnitus kind of blends in.
Exactly, yeah. It becomes less prominent.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then there's diet changes.
Yeah, what's that about?
So he has a whole section on his website about foods that can make tinnitus worse.
Like what?
Like caffeine, alcohol, salt, sugar.
Oh, the usual suspects?
Pretty much, yeah. But he goes into a lot of detail about specific foods and how they can affect your tinnitus.
Okay.
And he also recommends some foods that might be helpful,
Oh, like what?
like foods that are high in antioxidants or magnesium.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's worth checking out if you're interested in that aspect.
Okay, and then stress reduction. I'm guessing that's because stress can make tinnitus worse.
Absolutely. Stress can exacerbate a lot of health conditions.
Yeah.
And tinnitus is no exception.
So what does he recommend for that?
Pretty standard stuff like meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga.
Okay, yeah, those all make sense.
Yeah, just things to help you relax and manage your stress levels.
Okay, so those are his 6 steps.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's this whole other layer.
Okay.
Because he claims that the real cause of tinnitus isn't actually a problem with your ears.
What?
Yeah. He says it's not your ears, it's your brain. Yeah, so this ties back to that idea that tinnitus can originate in the brain.
Right.
He suggests that in a lot of cases, tinnitus is actually your brain trying to compensate for hearing loss or other auditory issues.
Hmm.
So even if there's no longer a physical problem in your ear, your brain might still be generating that phantom sound.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So he's saying that traditional treatments that just focus on the ears might be missing the bigger picture.
Exactly. Yeah, he thinks you need to address the root cause in the brain.
To really get lasting relief.
Yeah.
Wow. And does he have any evidence to support that claim?
Well, he has a whole article on his website called Even the Brain Can Be Fixed,
Okay.
where he talks about the brain's incredible capacity for healing and adaptation.
So he's saying that even if the tinnitus is originating in the brain,
Yeah,
it can still be healed?
exactly.
Wow, that's pretty optimistic.
Yeah, he's very optimistic.
Okay, so what else does he offer on his website?
Oh, he has a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
He has articles on diet travel tips for people with tinnitus, recommended sound therapy devices.
Travel tips.
Yeah, like how to manage your tinnitus when you're traveling.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he really seems to cover all the bases.
Wow, he's really passionate about this.
He is, yeah.
It's cool that he's put so much effort into helping people.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty inspiring.
So for you listening out there, here's a question to consider.
Okay.
If tinnitus can indeed originate in the brain,
Yeah.
how might that change your approach to managing your own tinnitus?
That's a good question.
Like, could exploring techniques that target the brain, like mindfulness or cognitive behavioral therapy,
Right.
offer a new path to relief?
I mean, it's definitely worth considering.
Yeah, we encourage you to check out Studeník's work and see what resonates with you.
Yeah, there might be some valuable insights there.
For sure.
All right, well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
My pleasure.
Until next time.
See you. Bye. Bye.